auto interviews with professionals. I'm happy to welcome today Aurora Fabi. Good morning.
Bonjour, good morning.
Could you briefly introduce yourself, Aurora?
Yes, my name is Aurora Fabi. I'm the marketing manager for CONSORZIO PDA, which is a consortium, as the word says, of distributors. We have 25 distributors of passenger cars, vehicles, spare parts, and 7 distributors of truck parts. And with our associates, we have a full coverage of the Italian territory. The Consorzio PDA was born in 2009, and with a bunch of distributors, and now we've been growing steadily, and now we have reached, after 13 years, we reached the number of 32 associates, as I was saying, and also the turnover is of the agreements covered by our consortium is around 100 million euros. And since 2019, we are also part of Gruppo Auto International through an holding, which is called Gruppo Auto Italia Holding, where we are present together with Gruppo Auto Italy. And the aim of our consortium is to make agreements with the suppliers, producer of spare parts all over the world, and to make them, to put them in contact with our associates, and to make the suppliers grow with their turnover in Italy, and also to make improve the quality of the products among our associates.
So the automotive world has entered an unprecedented turmoil. You have a global vision of what's going on in the world in your specific area. Would you say that Europe is more impacted as the rest of the world?
Well, after the pandemic, of course, there's been a big impact, because in the beginning there has been a problem of money, or lack of money, because people were not working. Then the problem was to have the products. I think that Europe is one of the most affected, also because we have a lot of suppliers which were buying from China, and with the problems with the lockdowns, and also with the costs of the transport by sea that has been doubled and tripled during the last years. The problem was prices, and also the lack of material. And in fact, with the pandemic, we saw, and with the lack of the sensors and microchips coming from China, the sales of cars has been dramatically reduced, and this is bad, but this was good for our associates and for the aftermarket globally. I think also all over Europe, but especially in Italy, because the car park is very old. And with the lack of new cars, it's getting older and older. And actually, we saw that last year we had a growth of more than 30% in the sales, and also consequently in the turnover, due to the fact that people were not able to change the cars, to get new cars, and so they had to repair the old ones, which of course, becoming older and older, they also needed more interventions in the garages. And I think that the growth could have been higher if we didn't experience the lack of materials, such as, for example, we have, I don't know if in Europe it's the same, but I think so, because when I was in Frankfurt, I heard also some people from the rest of Europe, there is a big lack of brake discs, for example, which were mostly produced in China, and now they are it's very hard to find them. And I think that the big change is that before the pandemic and before this crisis, which also, of course, with the war now in Ukraine, has been worse, I would say, mostly for the prices, because with the stop to the Russian market, we had more material to sell in the rest of Europe. So the problem is price because of the energy cost, etc. But what I was saying, what we experienced is that we could have done more if the I'm sorry, I got lost.
Yes, but that's okay. I'm going to rebound on what you just
yeah.
One of the main highlights of the Equipoto trade show is circular economy. So to face that lack of materials, do you work a lot with circular economy and remanufactured goods?
Not so much. We have just a few distributors working with remanufactured products. I think just 3 for the moment. I think that maybe it would be for the future. Of course, it would be for the future, because if products are going to be, if cars are going to be older and older, and so the value of the car is not so big, and also maybe with the mentality changing, probably the remanufactured products will be more important. But for the moment, I think that prices of some pieces are so low that people prefer to get a new part than to have a remanufactured one for the moment.
So they are still cheaper than, or at least the same price as remanufactured goods.
In some cases, yes. In some cases, yes. We have some supplier buying from China, which has a good quality, I have to say. Or discrete quality, and the prices are so competitive that it's hard to have to compete with the Reman suppliers. But I think that it will change. And what I wanted to say also is that we saw a change between our distributors and their customers, because once there were just, for some products, there were just 3 producers which were accepted because of the type of the spare parts, because the job to substitute them was a big job, and so they didn't want to have problems. But we saw that last year things have completely changed, because people want what's available, because when the garage has the car in its garage, they need to repair it and to give it back to their customer, and so they will accept everything. And in this case, we saw that some products which were not so well known were good, and the quality was good. And so the mentality is really changing in this period, because they had to accept it, but then they have been happy with the products, and so that's it.
So you have recently ordered a visitor badge for Equipoto Paris, the leading innovation event for the automotive aftermarket and connectivity mobility services. First, is it your first visit?
Yes, it's my first visit in Equipoto. I've been usually in Frankfurt or in Bologna, but for France, this is the first time. I've been in Paris so many times, but never for Equipoto.
Just for pleasure. So what do you expect of this international trade show?
Well, I think that I will meet, of course, the suppliers which I've been knowing for years. And what I would like to do is to find well, I would like to attend to some conferences, because I saw that there are some conferences which could be very interesting about the future product, new garage, and what is going to be the future. And so I want to know from specialized people, for professional and economists, what they think that the future will be. And the other aim, the other reason for which I want to attend it, is that I want to see, and if I can find producers of the products of the future also, because connectivity is going to be very important, and so we need to find, and also it's important, and I think it's a very delicate product, because there are security also involved in connectivity. So we want to find the best providers. And another thing which I think it will be we see that the market is growing steadily. Of course, for the moment, new cars don't go to independent garage, but they will very soon. And so we need to find diagnostic and producers of sensors, and also I want to see which could be the products of the future, because we know that with the Fit for 55, is the car park will change dramatically once they get to produce the new cars anyway. But it's not tomorrow, it's not the day after tomorrow, but I think that in 10 years, the aftermarket products will change completely. And if we want to stay on the market, and if we want to continue to work, we really need to find new products and the best products to arrive first and to get the best products to give to the market. So that's what I'm going to look for.
And how do you prepare your visits? Do you take appointments with some manufacturers?
Actually, not yet, because I didn't get the time, but during this week and the next one, I will have a look at all the pavilions and see which are the best producers and start meeting somebody.
How long are you planning on staying in Paris?
I will be in there for 3 days. So I think that's the best, because I'm arriving very early in the morning on the 18th, and I will leave on the 28th in the night. So 3 full days. I'm going to attend to some events also with the French Chamber of Commerce, and I've seen some conference that were being held on the 18th and on the 19th, and then I will fix some meeting, and I think that would be very interesting, as it has been. Fairs are always the place where you can find really something new. Maybe you will see 100 stands, booths, but I'm sure that 1 or 2 will be the ones that will fit for us.
Besides discovering new products, Equipoto is the place for networking as well. So are you going to try to find new customers, for instance?
Well, no, because as I was saying, we are a consortium, but the distributors which are associated to our consortium has their own sales. Of course, if somebody is asking me for some special product, I can address them, but this is not my job. I work behind the scenes, so we have to do all the part of the supplying part and not the selling one. We help them when sometimes, for example, we had the booth in Autopromotech. We do marketing, but it's never to sell, but it's always just to present our associates.
Well, thank you, Aurora, for this interview. Have a nice visit in Paris. Equipoto will take place on 5 days from October 18 through October 22nd. Have a nice Equipoto. Bye.
Thank you. And I hope to see you in Equipoto also.
We will, definitely.
Okay.
Ciao.
Thank you.